Are we ready to start the stream? Oh, I like this right here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, hello, thank you for joining me on today's stream. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Mwah to you. Thank you for joining me. Today we've got Trash Incorporated. Dev is here. Arthur, Rec, and Gaming Piece. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Yesterday, we worked on a mermaid slash siren. I want to maybe go over that just a little bit, just because I think I'm going to scrap siren. It was a split between the mermaid and the siren, one going towards order, one going towards chaos. Mermaid was the order and siren was chaos. In hindsight, and never say never, it may still work out, but I was feeling like it just wasn't working for me personally. Here's the line after a little bit of adjustment. This feels really good to me. We have a blobfish, we have a manatee, we have a mermaid. Mermaids were often seen as manatees in the past, according to horned up sailors. So it's a fun little take on that. From there, I did realize I think I can maybe bring over a line where we split the dugong or the manatee into the sea boar, and I think visually it really works out. To me, I think the siren can absolutely maybe come as its own entity maybe down the line, but I have another idea of where I can place the siren. The siren, after all, is quite commonly seen as interchangeable with the mermaid, so I can still put the spirit of the siren a little bit into the mermaid, and maybe go for a more vicious approach to the siren down the line. But again, never say never. You never really know what any of this stuff will look like, and that's what the iteration process looks like, right? Again, I have made a list of many mon that I want to incorporate, rather real-world animals to create as my POTEMPO. So, time for a monkey indeed. Hello to our mod. Seraph has made it. Everyone on their best behavior now. POTEMPO time. Here comes the Bond. Resident Sun Wukong. That's true. I do know that about Dev. Rest in peace, Siren. We hardly knew ye. Hello, Dr. Crowbar. Totem Pole. Infernape's my favorite Pokemon. Love Dragon Ball. And yeah, basically Journey to the West. Saru. Will there be a Harpy? The Harpy is now replaced by the Garuda, which is basically the Indian version of a Harpy. So and maybe that kind of gives you a little hint as to what I'm going to do with the siren potentially. It's a little bit of a fastball. So all I'll say right now is the siren that we kind of know, the one that I kind of worked on yesterday, might revert to a more traditional siren, like the very first siren was like a woman with bird-like features. I've got something really fun in mind. I think it's going to work perfectly in a split evolution line where it's not going to be the final form but a mid-stage kind of form. That's all I'll say about it for now, because I do want to get started on today's prompt, which is WUKONG. Someone mentioned WUKONG yesterday, and I have a huge list of mythological creatures and whatnot. I always struggle to maybe want to translate, say, a deity, right? Because deities in many cases can still be worshipped, and I want to be respectful of walking or crossing that line. And so to me, when I look at something like Wukong is not so much a deity but a mythological hero, and it is also kind of difficult. Did I not say curveball? What did I say? Garudamon, yeah. Garudamon, I could be wrong. Did it have an Indian, like Native American or indigenous feel, or my Indian feel? Oh yeah, it does got a Native American feel here. Still looks really cool, but that's basically what the Garuda looks like, or, I mean, obviously in some capacity, it's obviously not exactly like that. But the Hindu Garuda was like a humanoid creature with wings. And, you know, like I said, you said fastball? Oh, okay. Now, basically, that's going to be my take for the heartbeat, because, again, all these world cultures, in a beautiful way, really build off of each other. They borrow, inspired by, you know, whatever the case may be. When I looked at Sun Wukong, I realized there was a place for me to have more of a monkey-like creature, or POTEMPO, I should say, right? I shouldn't say creature or mon. I should say POTEMPO. And I'm going to actively say monster. That doesn't count for the jar. But you know, a POTEMPO that isn't Sun Wukong, right? That's the main thing as I continue to develop these ideas. They're not based off of in a very one-to-one kind of way, right? Even say, let's look at James Bond, right? Inteleon is James Bond. Without being James Bond, it's a spy, right? It's a lizard that's, you know, can cling to walls, right? Being secretive. It can go invisible. That's the way it represents, maybe not necessarily James Bond, but secret agent, right? More or less, I would basically say that I'm doing the same for Sun Wukong. So I don't really want to hear like, Bond, Professor Bodhi, Ava Boy, why is your Sun Wukong missing a pole, right? Or a staff? Because he's not the mythological hero Sun Wukong. He's only inspired by. So, that said, I have a very cool idea. And the reason why I didn't put it in the title is because I think Sun Wukong would carry the title. But I'm thinking, gang, we do a split Evo. And you might be thinking, what the? Bond, what do you mean? What else could this be? This is my current trajectory. Monkey. Tiger is the second form. And then, ready? Sun Wukong will represent, and again, I know people are going to be like, Bonnie, he was a trickster kind of guy. He was a hero. So to me, that's going to go to the order side. Why? Because in my current approach, I'm going to make the Rakshasa, a Hindu devil, basically, who is commonly, you know, illustrated with tiger-like kind of form. Be, if this is a humanoid monkey man, tiger humanoid monkey demon. And both live in the stratosphere of Asian-centric mythology. And Sun Wukong, for all the people who might know him, and he was constantly, or in his old, like, official art, he's depicted with, like, basically tiger pelt, right? In a lot of the art that you see him in, he may have like a tiger loincloth. He may have, you know, tiger symbology on his, if not tiger, it might be a dragon. So I feel like that to me makes a ton of sense. So with that said, that also kind of goes back to what I was saying about being careful with religion, right? Because when I look at the Rakshasa, right, that's a demonic entity. I don't think contemporary Hindus who practice Hinduism is going to be worried about, you know, if I was saying, like, going to make Ganesha, like a god of peace, start swinging around and fighting, that would be more of an issue, right? That'd be like going to a Catholic and be like, is it cool if I have Jesus Christ dual wield AK-47s? And, like, I mean, I think there's a sect of people who think that would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound cool. But that's disrespectful to a majority of Catholics, right? It's the same thing with the Hinduism stuff. So Sun Wukong will kind of be my chance to pay homage to Hanuman, right? And I think that's gonna be really cool. So, let me catch up with you guys here. Rex writing, I didn't know it was originally Hindu. That makes it seem like Digimon confusion with Native American. Yeah, and that's where a lot of, how do you say, the tricky thing with, you know, paying homage and culture and in general, what it chalks down to is it was a different time. So me being in 2024 and handling a lot of mythologies, that's why it's so important to me that I don't do something like, oh, let me, you know, flip around mythologies. And obviously there's creative liberties, right? And it's always about following and finding a through line, sticking with that as its first most principle, like design will always be king. But like, I think conversely, equally as important is being respectful, right? Bonster, James Bonster, Prodeva Boyni. Are you gonna make some Wukong and Hanuman? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Metabots? Yeah, Metabots tight. What kind of monkey is Wukong going to be? I mean, Wukong POTEMPO. So I think what I'm going to do, and feel free to leave some suggestions for me. Basically, so does he become a deity? Yeah, and that's going to be something that I don't want to really touch with in my POTEMPO version. Obviously, there's a lot of like, I've seen a ton of people talk about, chat, leave me ideas for what monkey I can do for Sun Wukong. I think I'm going for the Hanuman Lunger for the baby monkey. And then like a regular tiger for the second form. And then I'm going to do Sun Wukong. Ideally, it would be like an Asiatic monkey. Maybe like a golden macaque would be very cool, right? Because there's a lot of layers to Sun Wukong that I want to pay homage to, right? And then the Rakshasa will be just a badass humanoid tiger man. Yeah, both Hanuman and, you know, Sun Wukong have very holy ties. At a young age, freaking Hanuman goes flying at the sun thinking it's a giant mango. And the gods have to use like their strongest attacks just to like bring him down, right? Proboscis monkey? No, that thing looks ugly, no offense. I think big noses are a very attractive trait on human beings. But the proboscis monkey, rather, proboscis maybe, or proboscis, boingy. Let me look at you guys can look up Hanuman Lunger. So I'm going to do that for the baby because it's a very cute monkey. A nice nod to India too, Hanuman Lunger, of course. So then we have the golden macaque, I think, is a very cool looking monkey that I believe is in India. And I think I would like that to be, it's basically the golden Lunger. So Hanuman to golden is like a nice transition, don't you think, gang? Kind of want to see the Pokemon version of the Professor Bonny. That's basically Professor Bodhi. According to Watanabe Kenji, when designing Garudamon, he opted to design a Native American Indian look in intended reference to mythological roots in its namesake, Garuda. That doesn't make sense because Garuda is Sanskrit. Let me just double check that before I sprue out. So that's, yeah, Garuda is Sanskrit, Vedic. Hindu deity is primarily depicted as the Mount Vahana, Vahana meaning mount, of the Hindu god Vishnu. So it's funny, he's like saying the mythological roots of Garuda and then going to Native American. But, you know, look, Christopher Columbus confused my people with the indigenous people. And then so did Watanabe Kenji-san. So it's all good. Golden Snubnose? Let me look at him real quick. He is a cool monkey. Oh, this is a Chinese monkey. You know what? I might do this. I might do this because... the blue skin would really be fun, and it would be a nod to the Devas who also had blue skin. Okay, so I'm going to play around with the Hanuman Lunger, Golden Snub Monkey, which is a character I've made in another entity. If you guys want to quickly see that, I'll show it to you guys. Man, one day I would love to make a game or an anime or like some sort of thing with this set of characters. because you know, as you know, POTEMPO is not my only personal project. I've got like a million things cooking at any given time. Let me see if I can find Project Raga. Wow, I haven't seen this in a long time. That was in 2021 when I started adjusting the designs. But it's a whole world of like Asiatic, you know, say Indian elephant, tiger, Indian coyote, this snake kind of entity. Some really cool characters in here. This Captain Pirate Man. I would love to get something going with this franchise too. That's why if you guys, oh, here she is, my Golden Stone Monkey. Pretty cool. Yeah, if POTEMPO can be something, and then little by little people know me, and I can get my dream project out there. But anyway, confusion, pretty big confusion, but what can you do? Just looking at Monkey, the Howling Monkey's wild looking. It's getting something right now. I'll be right back. Artists always have a million passion projects. I know. Thank you. I have like too many passion projects, and that's why it's very important to me to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, oh yeah, Howling Monkey does look insane. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with these two. I like that, you know, Hanuman is obviously Hindu and Indian rooted, and then you have Wukong, Buddhist and Chinese, and so having the two between Hanuman and the golden stub nose, living in Asiatic monkeys, I think will be the play for Wukong. Another reason why I want to do the golden lunger is to potentially have my son Wukong. Obviously, as I said in my YouTube comment, or rather question of the day, we only got one response. I think it was our boy Dev. So I asked, which of these Sun Wukong depictions do you like the most? What's your opinion? What in your opinion is the aspect of the original character do you like the most? Pokemon Wukong obviously won at 57%. League of Legends Wukong, rest in peace, 3%. Dragon Ball Wukong, aka our boy Goku, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, the GOAT. We're both born on April 5th. I will do you right, my sensei. Goku at 17%, and then traditional Wukong at 23%. Dev writes, so, as a resident Wukong enjoyer, I really love what all the different versions of Sun Wukong bring to the table, whether that be a part of the story, some elements, or just complete recreation of him. My favorite is definitely the OG because he's so versatile. I love Infernape, and Goku's one of my favorite characters. LOL, Wukong has some dope skins, his design is cool. But yeah, long-winded, I would choose the OG. LMAO in all caps, thank you, Dev Poppy. But basically, drawing my race car monkey, hell yeah, brother. Artist, Bonnie's house is a perpetual smell of coal with how much he cooks. Hey, thank you, Arthur. Well, I'm not reading that, kid. The blight of creative people is that we're too creative. I was going to say Mandrill. Yeah, as I said, I kind of want to put that into my Kong for Temple for sure. Smite's Wukong. There's so many Wukongs out there. I could only really fit 4, but Smite does have a Wukong for sure. Okay, I'm going to draw. And it didn't take a whole hour for me to get the drawing. How about that, right? Progress. Actually, shit, it's 21 minutes in. All right, I mean, it's still a little better. Ah, that's hot. Also, Pookie, one of our mods, she gave me the flowers for my birthday. They were starting to die. If anybody knows how to preserve petals, they're my first ever flowers I ever got. Let me know, because I have the petals sitting there, and I think I could do something beautiful with them. I want to keep them. This was on Wikimon from an interview. Copy. Thank you for that, Kofi. Okay, so I'm going to start with a very simple monkey. I'll say this, chat. I've been playing with the idea because I'll quickly illustrate it on screen. So, for example, I took one sip of extremely hot tea, burnt my mouth, and then I had to burp after. So, with Digimon, right, we have... Okay, I'm going to see if I can get it right. It was Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, and Mega, I think. With Pokemon... No. I think it was Mega, then Ultimate. Someone correct me just in case. Because I want to say that that's why Nintendo went with Mega Evolution. So you had first form, second form, third form, and then Mega, right? So maybe I'll just do it like that. For POTEMPO, currently I have it like this, where it's just 3. Ideally, you know, I wanted to do a version where I had 4, but what that means is having a 4th is going to, let's say, that's going to overall give me a lot less lines that I can, it's Ultimate then Mega? Is it? Oh, so I was right. Wait. Ult then Mega? Is that true? Oh, wait, so then Pokemon copied Mega Evolution straight up. Is it possible to try to integrate the staff? No, that's a very Pokemon-like thing. And as I was saying before, these are... Everything that I'm doing is inspired by the various mythological entities. I'm not trying to make them one-to-one to fit it into the world. Sun Wukong and Ruby, gotcha. So really crazy that Pokemon was like, all right, let's add a new form where it evolves and then reverts. And then basically it's called Mega. Anyway, so when we were doing this kind of evolution mechanic, right? The rookies are always like these really simple designs. And then when I look at, say, Pokemon, there's like a nice, you know, basically it's like child into teenager into adult. It's very easy to understand. With Digimon, it's a little more, can go up and down and around, and that's fun too. I think with POTEMPO, something that I potentially might do, gang, is, let's say 3. So we have, rather than it being like child, it might be like the creature starts at a teen level, goes to adult, and then the final form is a, you know, let's say the finale, right? So it's 1, 2, finale. Realistically, it'll probably just be called third form. Finale evolution, maybe the term for if you want to skip to the final form could have something like boost evolution, right? I can still keep boost rather than calling it finale evolution. But because I've been thinking about a lot of mons to, again, further buff out my decks with more diverse lines, I'm going to have lines where it goes 1 to 2, and by doing a teen and adult kind of thing and skipping out the baby form, it lets the design feel a little more filled out than, say, a Pokemon design, right? Because in Pokemon, a 2-stage line is usually like meant to be filler. I would like even my 2-stage lines to like at least be somewhat viable in their own way. You know what I mean? When Mega evolved, everyone happened to have just like Meigs and Digimon. There's also Baby and In Training, which essentially just blobs with fame. Yeah, exactly. So there's just a lot in Digimon. More and more I keep thinking about how I can make it work for POTEMPO to feel like its own thing. And maybe it's not that I need to find anything crazy or unique, but just make sure that my evolutions feel potentially cohesive in smaller batches, right? That basically in this third form, that's my take on Mega. So a Mega Tyranitar would be my third form, and in reality, it's like, this is Pupitar, right? And this is Tyranitar. You know what I mean? So that way, this second form will always be really buff. So, just wanted to bring that up because it's just something I've been thinking about. Okay, so now that we have Rakshasa, Sun Wukong, Monkey, and Tiger ready, I guess let's start with the Monkey. I'm gonna look up my I'm wondering if I should, you know what? Part of me wants to do the golden snub-nosed monkey as like the baby form. To insinuate that it's blue skinned, that it's got like this godlike energy. You know, hello, what's up, Dinkus? But I did hear about the casting, was very excited about it, so happy about it. I'll also say this. It's insane, and I love it so much that John Wick is Shadow, but I would also have loved Hayden Christensen, but yeah, I couldn't be any more happier. Now, I might do a stream where I do like a John Wick screenshot and make it like Shadow the Hedgehog or something. Or maybe even Neo from the Matrix. I think the baby works if it's more like an object-like form, similar to the owlbear. The owlbear's baby is a teddy bear, though. But yeah, again, if I were to go back to the idea of making my baby forms all spirits, or like, for example, if this was a 3-stage line and I do like a monkey, I wonder, could I do maybe a Lego kind of thing where maybe all the babies, my first stage forms, maybe their bodies can have like this spirit-like appearance. And so in this case, if it's a Hanuman Lungar, maybe its face is painted on. But see, then it's not really like... There's not a lot of personality there. Because I'd want these to be the, you know, the creatures that we can kind of connect to. So let me look at this monkey. Because I do like the idea of all the creatures feeling very cohesive and connected, especially that first form. But there is something that feels really good about just having a fully fleshed creature be that first form that we can just connect to, right? Looks like Quaxley's here. If we got a PG-13 rating for Sonic, I'd be happy because I want to hear Shadow swear while everybody else is just confused. Monkey's Paw is a nice thing to associate with this line, perhaps. I don't think so. I would feel like that's more fitting for, I would say, like an occult kind of entity. It is definitely a fun pop culture reference. And maybe there could be something with the Rakshasa split in this line. But that's more a saying, and it doesn't have to be the crux of the design. Maybe it's part of the name reference, you know, more than anything, right? And maybe that's what you mean, right? It doesn't have to necessarily mean something connected with the design visually. I'm back. Is Wukong going to be evil from a rock because that's how he was born? No, because that is a Pokemon way of thinking. The Snow Monkey thing could work because that's how he was born. This I know. But again, this is a POTEMPO, right? I'm not making a one-to-one recreation of Sun Wukong, right? And I am happy to iterate that until chat knows I'm not doing one-to-one translations. Now, there are ways to, of course, pay homages, but I'm not trying to do direct things like that. That's a very Pokemon thing to do, right? So, yeah, I'm trying to just see how this would work. If maybe the faces could be like all black in the middle like this, and then trying to see, because this is like the totem pole vibe for the first form, and then what I would have to do is go through the rest of the other creatures and just kind of line them up to kind of feel the same. Right now I'm getting very Phantom vibes actually. So maybe what I could do is give, maybe their faces are kind of like covered, and then like they could still have their bodies. That could be a fun way to do it, you know? And then, and I'd have to test that out, you know? Like, it might work for some POTEMPO, right? So for example, this is going to be a very simple design. It's just a baby form. And what would be really fun with this approach is like POTEMPO would really have a very distinct look that all of them are connected, right? And seeing that in the first stage would be really cool, right? His face seems like a screen. Yes. Cool. Would you want a Sonic game with the cast of the Sonic movies? Hell yeah. Absolutely. In fact, I feel like that's just a smart thing to do, you know? How do I make this? I guess I have Garden Story where I did eyes like this. Right? Because I guess the issue here is, let's say the eyes, maybe the eyes are there and they're like the window to the soul, so to speak. Maybe its signature is Monkey Paw Strike, where it does big damage but has drop. Yeah, it could be something like that. Let me see how I would do the mouth. Because then how would they emote if they're in this thing? Is it mostly, you know, like part of what makes the... I guess what I could also do... Maybe let's take out this thingy. Maybe he could just have his hair like this. You know? And then maybe like it's painted on, but like it's still, it moves like paint. I mean, this is something kind of like how I was envisioning. So let's say, for example, yesterday's, let me try this out. Let me do, and it would make sense because I'm using like these kind of, they'd probably be around this big. If the potrinkets, whatever I end up calling them, if they're the housing units for these creatures, they look like, it's like if a Pokemon was wearing a Pokeball on its head. And I don't mind the screen thing either, because I did say it's gonna have like a semi-futuristic kind of vibe, you know? So let me try this out real quick, because there could be something here. So let's take, you know what, let's do a test. Let me take these two. And I'm going to try to recreate them. And if there's a nice... Because this could be the best of both worlds, where I don't need to have the babies. Oh, you know what? So rather than... I'll just straight up draw over it. Now, whether it means... I guess... Ooh, wait a second. So maybe the way this guy would be is it would be... This could be very fun. It could be very, very fun if this works out, because I think this is kind of what I was envisioning. And maybe the colors always change between the species, or it's always like a brown kind of color, right? Because it could be cool that's like wooden kind of vibe. Stop it. Oh my god, Photoshop, you're not cool, kid. And they could still be cool things like, in this case, the fur kind of sticks out at the top, in this guy right here, the kelp could still the kelp could still kind of hang from the top. Honestly, I kind of like this. Again, the main issue is I'm losing personality in the form, but the kind of world building that you get out of something like this is very nice. All the creatures get to feel very connected even in their base forms, which is nice. So then outright we're like, okay, like we know it's a seahorse, but like there's still an air of mystery to it, you know? And it could be, again, their eye color maybe denotes what domain they're from, for example. It'd be real cool if they can fold into their totem head. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing, Kofi. Exactly. Ash would go to the doctor, but I think they would accept. Gotta catch them all as a medical condition? What does that mean? Would multiple monkey POTEMPO come from the same totem form? That's another great question. I've been thinking that and that would allow me to, in the future, right? Kind of have like a general kind of base form that, like, you know, almost represents, you know, evolution in a fun kind of way, right? Maybe, you know, this monkey in another region, because the region's spiritual energy is different, would evolve into a different kind of second form, right? So I really don't mind that the first form isn't so crazy. Yeah, this is kind of cute. I think having first server photo is really distinct. Yeah, I think this might be the play, genuinely. This is kind of what I intended in that stream before with the owlbear. Only the first form. Only the first form. I think just to highlight that they're part of a family, you know? Yeah, I think I'll do it so that only the first form has it. Will it stay? I don't know. So for example, I like this kind of like tribal kind of feel where maybe I do something like a painted kind of motif or something. And that way it feels like every line is more like a POTEMPO of my world, and then they kind of like become, again, they unlock their potential and like break through their forms. I kind of really like this. Now, again, as far as a first form, I really think it's going to... They would mostly be communicating with their eyes, which isn't a bad thing, right? The eyes do a lot of talking. But let me just keep messing around with this. Does India have a fire monkey legend? I don't know about fire monkey. I mean, like I said, maybe... I mean, Hanuman tried to eat the sun. He was very close to. You know? Maybe, or you know what? It could be that... It could be that... Ooh, something like this is really fun. And there's still like depth to the design, you know? Really good to know. To be honest, I don't like them all having totem heads. I'm just glad it's just the first forms. Yeah, I wouldn't do it for all the heads because it kind of loses out on personality. But I think that having like a connective tissue is really fun. That way people will be able to be like, if they see the first form, they're gonna be like, oh, that's Bonnie's game POTEMPO, right? Because I see the wooden totems, you know? Are we still going with the whole alignment changing their evolution path? Yes, I mean, only for when it gets to the second form. I'm sure down the line I'll find, you know, ways to really mix it up. I think it's a really fun mechanic because it allows me to save spots on the roster. For example, this in today's episode, this monkey is going to be, yeah, me too. I think I like the totem heads, and it could still be a thing where, again, I could even have, you know, blue painted on as homage, you know. I really like this. I think this is super unique. I think this is exactly what I was kind of thinking of when I was thinking of what do you call it? When I showed it on the Owlbear stream, and I was like thinking like, how do I make maybe the first forms, instead of being like generic fire spirits, I think going this route, there's something really fun and cool about this, where it's like, oh, it's a monkey, I can tell that, but it's not like, you know what I mean? There's something cool here. Tiki heads, kind of tiki heads, right? This is cool. This is very unique. I feel like we discussed a lot about order and chaos, but what about fair? Any potential? Oh yeah, you know what? The thing is, I've thought that, right? And maybe I'll give a soft reveal here. Also, I'd love to hear chat about whether you guys, what kind of, I already have all my legendaries locked, but for example, in one game, right, Sinnoh, they have a lot of these world mythos, right? Basically, what ends up happening is, but how do I word it? I'm wondering how much in this first game I should explore as far as the overarching mythology of the world. Like, again, I've designed for my peace of mind and, you know, setting up the world, there's like the POTEMPO god. And for the quartet, that's like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. I have like a fourth, which would be like the earth type. Those guys, it's not like they have like a overarching, like, I'm responsible for time and space. I'm wondering what kind of gods you guys would like to see. Just curious, because I have the ones I want to do in mind. There's going to be 3, like, or maybe I should say 2 celestial deities underneath the POTEMPO god. But yeah, to be honest, Dingus, I haven't really thought about the fair direction. Even that name, like, I was trying to find something like focused path, inner path might be a better direction. The only worry is if I do that, then I have to do 3-stage lines for a lot of creatures. And then, for example, what if you didn't want a chaos path or an order path? But at the same time, I quite like, I think the way I'll say it is like this. You do need to go in a direction to get a fair, or not a fair, an order or a chaos path POTEMPO. And that any POTEMPO that doesn't have a specific one, to activate those ones, you need to go down the inner path. Because I like the idea of order, chaos, put your hands together, the inner path, right? Might be called inner or focused. Maybe not focused, because it, like, oh well, it's order, chaos, and focus. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that, or inner or spiritual. And so for the 3-stage ones, I would probably do something like that. If you guys see a POTEMPO where there's like a cool line to add a 3rd one for inner path, let me know, and I'd be, you know, down to look at it. Okay. I do like the totem heads. It does take away. Yeah, that's my fear, Jelly. But it still looks awesome. I feel like you can find a way to add personality with the pose or eye shade. I agree. It could be the eyes really get really fun and interesting. It could certainly be the pose. Will all POTEMPO be beastly, or is it possible to look like a human? I would say so. By establishing early on now, usually in the finale form or the third form, hell, even the second form, they can attain a humanly kind of look. That's why, for example, my Hanuman form, or I should say Wukong form, and even the Rakshasa form, the third line will feel humanly, as if like they again burst to their potential and be, you know, it's like I'm leaving behind that beastly visage of monkey or tiger, etc., and becoming more right human. Let's see what else here. Dragon deity god, what does that mean exactly? One based on Eris, what does that mean as well? I think it'd be interesting depending on the alignments. There was a god that represented. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it because it's probably pretty obvious. There will be a god of order and chaos as like the main story gods. And that's why to me fair isn't as important. And let's just say maybe with human intervention, a third god may rise. All right, so look at these guys. These work pretty well. Now, something like this is going to be tricky because I really do love, and this is where, you know, what Jelly and I was saying earlier. This is where losing personality is a little scary. So let's say they're all pretty like small kind of creatures. They're, I don't know, potentially the same size. They're all pretty small. Let me just see how a blobfish would look. Maybe for this one, for example, I could have a thing where it could still be very cute, right? Like you could see maybe the blobfish part. It's almost like the totem aspect is, you know, like cooking. This is really, I mean, it sounds dark, but it's like helping gestate the creature enter our world. So maybe for this one, its nose kind of sticks out, right? And again, to keep it consistent, maybe it's like, and you still get its fin at the top. But I have to say, I really, really like this direction. I think it's very different and unique from any other tamer. I think color, of course, would make a big difference. Like maybe this one could be more of an orange kind of base, right? I like the glowing eyes kind of bit. I think there's still a chance to make them endearing. And that way I don't have to outwardly be like, it's a blobfish, you know, or like, it's a this. Like, that's still pretty damn cute, right? Although that does look like a pumpkin. I like the way that I can have little bits break out. You know? This kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern, actually. But it's, you know, just something for me to sit down and think about. But this would really allow me to create something that feels so different from what everybody else does with their monster tamers. It's like a little serial killer. Like, the fact that these guys all look this way is super appealing to me. It feels so cohesive. You know? And that to me is so damn important for it's so damn important for brand recognition, right? And I'll say this. Oh, you asked what kind of god? I want a dragon god. But see, what dragon god is one thing, but what is it reigning over? Is my question is, what aspects of life and stuff, right? Dragon god is one thing. That's just how it looks like. But I want to know, like, do we want to see gods of death, gods of life? What does that mean? God of the hunt, god of war, god of wine, for example, right? In Greek mythology. God forbid? Okay, well. Let's see. Eris is the Greek god of chaos and strife. Blobfish the blockfish, exactly. Hello, Kay, welcome in. Order, chaos, and centered or neutral. I can envision this path focusing more on themselves rather than the outside. Individualism. I think still, but that's the thing. I still think order and chaos is still about the self as well as it is outside, right? Like, no matter what, we live in a world where our outside forces, transform us maybe, but it's how we react to it, right? So chaotic people, maybe in their mind, they've got a billion things running around in their head and they want to do this and the other. And how they manifest things around them is kind of, I think for me, the word fair, it's very laissez-faire, right? It's kind of like a cop-out kind of name. And at the end of the day, no one in the world is ever truly centered, right? It's impossible. And I like the idea of, rather than it being like, again, in a very black and white term, right? Like, let's say order is good, right? And chaos is bad. Fair before was supposed to be like middle ground, like, oh, I'm right in the middle. But like, to me, that doesn't really mean anything. So I'm wondering if, I like the idea, again, in Hinduism, when we put our hands together in prayer, it's like our two sides of ourselves, the human within us and the God within us, meet together in the middle. And I kind of want, like, the inner, if I end up calling it inner or focused path, is you kind of like mastering your self-peace. And maybe that's like, maybe it could be fair just to truly have a gray space, just to have like a blank, not blank, but a default. And then maybe there's a fourth enlightened kind of form. But again, it's a lot. It's order, chaos, and balance. Yeah, exactly. I want to find a nice word for balance, right? A deity of balance. We're not using the lamp idea. What if we had these guys hadn't can stack together as storage? That's kind of what I'm picturing. In particular, the thing is, with the stacks, right? I still need to give the player something that they can buy and they can have, if there's like a Pokeball or a Digivice, they still need to have something that can maybe hold the stacks. Maybe between this form and then their forms like what's like a good way to put it? Again, it would be like if you caught Pokeballs, their heads were Pokeballs, like, how does that work exactly? It could be that they have like this ancient tiki kind of thing, and then there's like a newer technology that still looks old but new. I have an entire Pinterest board about like trinkets and idols and cool things that I can use to like figure out the look feel of whatever the catching device is. I think it works as it's like you almost awakening their. Hold on. I think it works as it's almost like you awakening there is moving them from the physical in the form of these totems to something more powerful and spiritual. Yeah, like for me, it's a matter of like these creatures haven't been unlocked, right? it's almost like an inhibitor, right? Almost like a, what's his name? Type null, right? Not type void, type null. And then he kind of unlocks his head, but the rest of his body doesn't change. I kind of want this to be, again, not limiters, but like, they're not true monkeys, they're not true this, they're not true that, they're POTEMPO. So I think me kind of covering up their face, whether or not there's anything under there, maybe it's a mystery. I like that idea that as you, with your friendship, you help them become, or rather more so, break their potential to become even more important entities, right? But yeah, depending on the world, I can see maybe the areas of the world having god, POTEMPO, or legendary related to the groups or clans, like peaceful clan having peace god, or they own or worship. Just want to say I got the chance to try Indian food for the first time. It was scrum diddly umptious. You'll love to hear it. I'm so glad. Kay, what did you have to eat? Fried pork chops? Nice, let's go. Welcome, KK. Where's the cheeky monkey the thumbnail promised? Still working on that. I made a breakthrough. I think this is exactly what I was thinking in my mind on the owlbear night, and fusing the two. So I think the monkey, and the cool part is I've barely designed a ton of POTEMPO, so it's not going to be hard for me to go back and set up concepts like this, right? The fish at the end makes me hungry for fried chicken. I do want some fried chicken, although I had some the other day. Okay, I think I like this. I'm going to do my best to figure out. It could very well just simply be that maybe their heads are shaped in, it doesn't have to be like, I was genuinely thinking this before, earlier today. I could also go a route where the first forms are entirely, almost kind of like Viva Pinata had a very unique look, right? Maybe the first forms are all like almost like Trojan horse, like, you know, animal represented. Oh, that really does look like fried fish, but like it could be like fried fish, fried chicken. It could be carved wood, stylized carved wood for their first forms. Now again, we lose a lot of personality in this way, but I really do love, it could be almost, or it could be like they have a chassis and then maybe just a little bit of their face is peeking out. So that way I could do something like this. This might be the best of both worlds, you know? So in this version, the blobfish kind of like sticks out of his little totem body. I guess for this one, I'll quickly mock it up real quick. And that could also still be very cool to see. There's something fun about this as well. And you know what? They could still have like, maybe in this case, right? Like there's like a hole and like its leafy appendage could come out. There is something really appealing about this direction too. You know? Now love it, yeah, can't go wrong. Butter chicken, yeah. Butter chicken is just the goat. It's just the absolute goat. Now you have to have tandoori chicken. You'll enjoy tandoori chicken. Crack idea. Instead of something physical for storage, what if you were the vessel for them? There could be like little tattoos that signifies what POTEMPO you have. I like that, but that's yet another thing I'd have to design, you know, like it'd be like, okay, so monkey POTEMPO's got a monkey symbol, and anyone could argue, but Bond, that doesn't take a lot of time, and that's true. But there's iteration. Does it work? Is it readable? How does it look if it were animated? Say if this were a TV series. Damn straight I'm thinking about it as a TV series. How does it work in a video game perspective? Is that something that's visible in like a 16-bit or pixelated art direction? Is that something that can only work? You know what I mean? Um, I like that though. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds badass. But another thing that I'm really thinking about is in a very Marvel, Star Wars, anime. You have to think about these kind of things when you deliver pitches. Where's the tactility, right? I don't want to outright say it like it sounds gross, like where's the merch? But like things like that, right? It just helps add more and more layers of stuff that I can sell to bigger companies and whatnot, right? Or you can have merch of the capture device, or again, there's a fun thing about tactility. Seahorse barely moving wood. I can't move. I know the way he looks, right? It may not be full body. I like the idea that it might be more something like this, where the faces are kind of peeking out of a wooden body, maybe. So in that case, I guess it would look something like this version would look like. Where the hell? Oh, I tweaked. He's petrified. Give tattoos to little kids, yeah, right? I like the idea. I've been thinking about the tactility approach. You can't go wrong with a handheld device, right? You've got them all in many different kind of animes and stuff. The Dragon Balls, you have the Dragon Ball scanner or the radar. The dual disc was something you wore here that came up this way, right? You could play down your cards. You had, of course, the Pokeball. The Digivice is a small thing. So I want to come up with my own version. Are all POTEMPO wild? Nobody in POTEMPO. POTEMPO are spiritual entities. They're more like Digimon than they are Pokemon, gang. So I still got to figure out how they are in the overworld. Not everyone can see them is kind of like my direction. And only like the most powerful ones can kind of be seen by more and more people. You know? Okay, so I will continue to keep playing with these ideas. I really like the heads kind of thing. It really gives something so unique about the creatures. When people see these, like already I can look at these and be like, POTEMPO. I feel it in my heart of hearts. I'm like, this is definitely the direction. There's still individuality here. And it's only the first form anyway, you know? And so to me, something like that is the ideal, because I want people can look at Digimon for the most part and be like, those are Digimon. Down the line, when they see like the old, the varying forms and stuff, they'll be able to know like, oh, that's Bonnie's POTEMPO because it looks like his art style. Oh, I see this. I see the fried chicken thing now. It's the tail, the fish tail. Are the nations or kingdom out there militarized POTEMPO? There isn't. I wouldn't. I feel like those kind of things. I don't want to give away too much, but I guess it's like kind of obvious, right? Like there's gonna be evil factions, and how much do I want to give away? All I'll say is conflict breeds a story, right? So that's all I'll say for now. Okay, so let me bring this over to my compendium. You know what? I also really like the POTEMPO heads kind of stuff because characters like snakes that have very little personality, I can just give them a blockhead. Same with this wolf. Right? The wolf becomes kind of like a pseudo wolf, and then when it becomes an actual wolf, you're like, oh, okay, like I was confirmed. And then when it becomes an Aklut, you're like, oh, okay. Like the jumps feel even more significant, you know? Would a match head with a normal body looks best to me? Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I'm thinking, Kay. Are there any gimmicks that separate your POTEMPO from other creatures other than boost? Even then, boost evolution is likely on the way out. I had boost in mind because it was meant to be it was meant to be, oh, you know what I can do for this guy? I think this is what we can make for this character. White here. And then just because I feel like maybe I do need to focus on some more through lines. Yeah, buddy. Tiger Tail. I guess that's enough for Tiger Tail, actually. But yeah, basically Red Butt. Red Butt would be super cute. The new way for the middle form? What is remind me what the new way is again? But yeah, so boost evolution was meant to work for, like, say, a fourth, like, you know, basically my own take on Mega. But I think it's more that I'm folding in boost into the 3-stage line. If there's any core mechanic, it's probably this order and chaos mechanic. Where is split evolution new to Pokemon? No. Is, you know, having evolutions based on bonds new to Pokemon? No. But I think with this order and chaos kind of thing, I think I'll have it adjust things like the moves they can learn. If I do find an X factor, I'd love to obviously incorporate it in there. But as of right now, there isn't anything that, like, feels like I need to Japanese Chimera, right? New Eye Sick? Nice. Tiger Legs, Raccoon, Dog Body, Monkey. Wait a second, that actually could work. The new way might work, so rather than it being like a generic tiger, right? Because that perfectly kind of folds into, and, you know, again, it's not outright the new way. I think this works, gang, because then one will be Hanuman / Sun Wukong, and the other will be the Rakshasa. And I could give it, oh crap, I love the mandrill. I kind of want it to be a mandrill face. But I want my King Kong to be a mandrill. I'm gonna look up cool monkeys. Cool monkeys. This is one of the first things I find for cool monkey. I mean, it's pretty cool. Because, no, you know what? Maybe I'll lean into... Maybe I'll lean into the silverback for... No, King Kong's basically a silverback, right? Let me look up... Okay, so we have mandrills, right? But what about baboons? Maybe I can give him a baboon face. Ooh, maybe I can make this guy a baboon. Golden Snubnose is what I'm doing basically for this baby form. Oh, and they can fly, no wings? My god. How will God or legendary POTEMPO change from the standard? Will they be more decorated or ornate totems? Yeah, I think that they break the mold entirely. There will be, I don't want to reveal their design specifically, but like they will have a more alien-like feel, but they will be very beautiful and unique looking. There's one god that will look closer more to these totems. And I won't say anything beyond that. Wukong was a known shapeshifter, so Chimera Middle Stage works. There you go. Again, I'm not making Wukong, but yeah, there is a fun connection there. I think there's something adding the new AI ideas, both having relations to creating and manipulating clouds. What about a macaque? I believe it's spelled M-A-C-A, yeah, Q-U-E. Macaques are scary. The lion-tailed macaque could be a good one. Because look at it's got a fun shape for its head. There, damn it. This guy trolling me. That one. Because I do want to use, so is the mandrill the same? Mandrill versus baboon. Okay, baboon is a little different. The mandrill, right? For diva POTEMPO? What does that mean exactly? Like an idol? I'm done with monkeys. No, you're not dumb. Bloodheart baboon? What is that? Oh, the monkeys that you... Yeah. The hot spring monkeys. That's what I want to do. I love those guys. They're so big chillin'. Those are macaques too, right? Hot spring monkeys in Japan. I wanted to see them, but they were closed at the time. They've got the red faces. I think I'm gonna do those guys. Jigokudan. A 6-eared macaque? Orangutan. I'm gonna leave this guy at the side. I'm gonna start working on my tiger. So this tiger will evolve into a humanoid Wukong monkey man, and then a Rakshasa tiger man. Copy, copy. Copy, copy. Tiger. I can still give it maybe this macaque hair, or whatever this guy is. The Japanese macaque. Dave. Oh, okay, Deva, not Diva. Gotcha. I don't think I'm going to do any Deva, just because I said, like, if anything, I'll do loose representations, like, of Vahanas, which are like the mounts for many Deva. I could do an homage to Ganesha, but like, Ganesha doesn't fight things. He's just a remover of obstacles, right? Tiger pose. I was gonna write Tiger Woods like an idiot. And then it's yoga tiger poses. Tiger pose, tiger. Do I write tiger pose, tiger? God damn it. Tiger pose reference. Oh, here we go. So what I'll do is I'll simply make it more, like, I won't really incorporate the I won't incorporate the snake part because it's just not necessary. I'll just live in this space right here. Oh, you know what would be really cool, gang? If I do the tiger legs, but then I do hands like a monkey and really make it chimeric. You know? Actually, thumbs would be inside. It would be pretty creepy, but cool to see, right? I mean, it also just kind of looks like a monkey, but you know, it could just be a monkey or a macaque with tiger-like features, which isn't you know, which isn't bad. And then naturally, obviously, gang, when I do the second pass and stuff, I will, of course, do style and proportion kind of adjustments, right? The tiger is such a beautiful animal, dude. Like, lion is the king of the jungle. The tiger can't beat the tiger, bro. It's just beautiful. The audacity of people hunting tigers. There's like major efforts in India to like bring the population back, you know, and they're doing great things there, thankfully, before it's too late, you know. What were the other parts of the Nue? Scroll, we can't see the head. Oopsie. A diva deva? What would that be exactly? The six-eared macaque is a character in Journey to the West that looks a lot like Wukong, but took much more of a villainous role in the story. Evil Dopeless style. This makes me want to get back to work on my own monster capture ideas, but I have other art stuff I need to do. I mean, Hikari, I feel that I have a lot of trouble balancing a lot of things. That's why I couldn't work, say, on Project Raga, that other story with all the other cool characters. I can only really put my mind on one thing. Like, I can kind of balance broad stroke ideas, right? For example, I'm working on Pokemon D&D for you guys. The collab that I've done with True Green 7 will be coming out very soon, and I'll release the episode 1 revamp, which I'm so excited to share on that day. And I'm going to be doing week by week, so I can give you guys content to enjoy over time, because originally I was planning on doing everything in one release, but then I ended up changing like practically the entire story, which is just crazy. I rewrote everything, like I showed you guys. I changed the evil team. I did a lot of cool stuff, and all of the changes really brought it to feel like its own thing, even though, yeah, much of the stories like still of course about Curtis and all that kind of stuff, but like it's far more streamlined. It's just the best version of the story, and I just can't wait to share it with everyone. But yeah, since that one is mostly kind of set in stone, that's just easier for me to, you know, work on and get out, while I put the focus, like the true world building and all that kind of stuff on this, because this is going to be, what's the word? Like, I'm putting my life, no matter what it is, like I always put all my effort, but if I really want to splash in the world, if I really want people to care about me and my work, I love Pokemon, I love Digimon and Zelda. I don't want to keep doing fan art. I want to make my own thing so that kids one day can watch Potempo on Saturday morning, play the games, make YouTube channels where they make their own Potempo. You know, like I'll have made it when they're like, man, Bonnie, you know, he can't make Potempo like he used to. He's never gonna do this design or this region, and then I'll know I made it. So yeah, it's just very important to me to really give it my all and try and make this a reality. You know, Jack for Over It Subjectively just put a video out today about designs where he put out like human designs, right? And I, you know, made me realize, like, you know, I can't wait to work on my human designs for this game. But he said something very important, which was he doesn't know if his thing is going to be a game, despite everyone in his audience thinking it's a game, right? Even I've said many times, like, I don't know what this is going to be yet. The easiest thing to say is a game, but I could see this being like a Saturday morning cartoon, an anime, a manga, a comic. It's gonna have everything, and it'd be silly for me to pretend I can deliver. You know, I don't know what it's going to fully be, right? So like, I just can't be like, it's this or that. So let me work out the concepts to a degree that feels right. You know? Okay. This is like really creepy looking, and so once I get it to the place where it needs to be as far as a design, when I'm gonna formally, of course, hit it with the proper you know, what's the word? Like the proportions and like it's looking like a realistic design, right? It's pretty creepy. But snake tail, tanuki, or raccoon body, or tiger body. Gotcha. Yeah, so I'll do my version of the Nue. And if I can incorporate even the name Nue into the name so people know why it's a tiger monkey thing, then they'll know. There were 3 other monkeys like Wukong, the 6-eared macaque, the long-armed monkey, the gibbon, the horse-faced monkey, the baboon. Could hear anything in the world. Are there POTEMPO species, or is it Yokai Watch thing where there's technically 1 POTEMPO of each? Oh, is that how that works in Yokai Watch? Where it's... Oh, I had no idea. That's pretty cool. Because they're spirits, I think there could be any given number of them at one time. But it might be more like Yokai Watch or Digimon, where it's not like you're going to find civilizations of POTEMPO and stuff. I don't think. Looks like an old man with a bald head. I know, right? The 400 represents. Oh, okay, very nice. Are we allowed to do fan art of these designs at you? I would love that, Kofi, although I would just say hold off on doing it just yet, because many of these designs, again, I'm looking at this guy's design, right? It is way too realistic looking, right? So I would prefer to have these designs kind of close to final. I mean, look, I can't really stop you guys at the end of the day, right? But, you know, since so much of these designs are probably going to change at some point, I'd prefer, you know, to hold off. Hello, Rykar. Welcome in. I'm trying to use the macaque monkey. I think it was, what was it? I keep forgetting the name. Hold on. Guys, tell me about your day while I sort out some stuff over here. Golden Stumnose Monkey, Hanuman Lunger. Tiger Pose, okay. No, you know what? Oh, wait, yeah. So I can maybe... You know what, let me give it... Yeah, wait. I tweaked. Let me make it red. This guy looks so scary. Oh my god. Okay, so this guy, he looks like... Oh my god, who does this guy think he is? Monkey Man. That looks so creepy. Okay, so actually it should be more of like a pinkish. Okay, so we do this. Okay, this is getting to be a little better. The hair thing was supposed to be from that one macaque that I showed you. I left to get a barn owl pic just now. My man got no neck. He don't. My day was fine, but it's better now that you're here. Hey, good to hear that. Day was okay, mainly scrambling to finish some setup stuff for my D&D. Oh, nice. Okay. What do you do with D&D? Like, you run a campaign like as a DM, or... what's a macaque? Is that a new Machok Evo? Machoke. Look up macaque. It's a type of monkey. Alright, let me do... I like that it's kind of like, you know, like, you've seen monkeys like that, like, walk around like this, right? Yeah, let me make it a little more slender. And it could feel like a monkey still, right? There we go. There's a little bit of a neck, huh? Mandrill Sun WUKONG? No, the mandrill will be for Kong. I guess it's okay that it looks like an old man, because monkeys look like humans, right? Alright, so let me do the hot spring macaque right here. I think that's what they are, right? The Japanese macaque, yeah. Oh, maybe I can give them like stage play, kind of like... Here. Like kabuki. Actually, I really like how that looks, chat. Oh, chat, I like this. Look, if you let me cook just a little bit, we get to something cool. You didn't doubt me, right? You would never, right? That's kind of fire, chat. The new way came out kind of fire, dog. Now imagine the Bonny John style rendering down the line. I'm so happy. I GM a few games. I'm like, let's go. That's awesome. Design over 15 new NPCs. Okay, good shit. Apologies if you already talking about this, but how cognitive conscious? Don't worry. I like to answer these kind of questions. It gives me a chance to answer questions I hadn't even thought about. How cognitive conscious are POTEMPO? Like, are they more on the creature side? Are they smart enough to have something like their own language? I like the idea that they're incredibly smart. And the kind of story direction is that they're more or less, they kind of keep to themselves, like they're tribes or something, right? Like that's kind of the closest word I can get. Maybe clans or tribes. I like the idea that like, just because, you know, this species looks like a thing, I want to insinuate that like, maybe there was another world in the past where oh, I'm gonna make his head orange. That's cute. I like the idea that in the past maybe there were regular tigers and lions, and because in this real world there will be oh, give me 1 second. Sorry, chat. When Mama Dukes FaceTimes you pick it up. And fortunately, it's an accidental call, nothing serious. This design is becoming my favorite line so far. Not gonna lie, but I'm a sucker for monkey, sucker for orange. It is a very fun line, and like I gotta say, seeing the totem head and the ways I can make that malleable for past designs I've done plus future, something special is on the way. But yeah, I'd like the idea that all POTEMPO can speak to one another. I'd love it if it was like an advanced language. In the overworld, I don't think you're really going to run into the third stage lines much. But even if somehow I changed my mind, I was like, you could run into a Sun Wukong. When you catch it, it reverts to its base form, and you have to like level up your friendship to help it become the Tiger Nui thingy and then a Sun Wukong, right? Bonny John cooking stream when? Would you guys be down to watch me do a cooking stream? Like if I said, how would I, maybe through my phone? I don't know how fun that would be. I still don't know how to feel that Pomo in the anime sounds like Mickey Mouse. I've heard this, but I haven't actually heard of it. Anyway, here is this guy right here. He's feeling really fun as far as its design. And maybe that's what I could do in the future. Like anytime there's like a middle ground kind of creature, like say a tiger, I could do something like this. You know what I mean? Like I could have made a generic tiger and I think it would have still been awesome. Don't get me wrong. But this is more interesting and unique, right? But you're cooking right now, thanks. You're already cooking. Hey. I'm very happy. Not only because the Nui ended up landing without being too crazy, right? No Tanuki body. Although a Tanuki would be an amazingly fun prompt in the future. Not one I'm putting in this game. Or not in this first edition. But then the fact that I got like the POTEMPO baby form kind of down, that iteration from Spirit Orb into woodblock for a head. Feel very good about it. Wukong time? Is it time for Wukong, or should I do Rakshasa first? Let me put a little poll for chat, because I could see it going either or. How do I do that now? I want to see how good a chef Mr. Bonny John is. I'm not bad. I don't cook as much as I should, and I want to. Rakshasa, Tiger Man, Wukong, Monkey Man. I'm gonna do both, right? I'm just gonna get both done. But I want to see who you guys want to see me design first. Forearms would be sick, but I feel like that might be too advanced. Like if I had a boost evolution, I mean that could be my take on Machamp, right? And it could be my nod to Hmm. So the tricky thing is, I might have to do maybe this is one of the inner ones that I could do, because the tiger is the national like Indian animal, the animal of India, excuse me. So I kind of feel bad making like an evil. Well, I guess he's not evil. He's only inspired. He's gonna look awesome. He doesn't have to look evil. Okay. Okay. What if the Wukong version is like tiger pants? A reference. That's exactly what I'm potentially trying to do. Um, it won't be pants, but that's why I did tiger, because in a lot of depictions you see, uh, in fact, in many Japanese yokai, you see tiger um, loincloths and stuff, right? Maybe there's something to it if they're branching third forms that they are possibly created due to human intervention, like maybe the bad guys only have chaos aligned. No, but that's the thing. Bad guys only having chaos alignment is just too on the nose. It's too black and white. Like, chaos will never in my universe outright mean evil or bad. Now, naturally, yes, you can chalk that up, right? But like, order in its own right is very evil, right? What it's more about the misuse of chaos or the misuse of order. That everything needs to be a certain way, have order, can be abused, right? To be fair, we're the man. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like a tiger loincloth. Yeah. Rakshasas are man eaters, and the thing is, they're more humanoid in appearance, and then you'll see like tiger depictions. But if I'm treating this as my India region, you know what? Actually, there is another thing that's cool. So actually, don't worry. But I have an idea of what I can do for another tiger. It may not be something I do on stream, but all right. 11 votes. That's it. Oh, so we're doing Tiger Man first. All right, that makes sense. We can just leave Wukong as the you know, finale. All right, so Rakshasa Tiger Man. Let's look up were tigers or something to get a reference. Hot Spring Monkey. Now, this will be one of the first forms where I have a true humanoid. Bengal tiger? I mean, it'll be an orange tiger, so. That said, in Pokemon, there is like fur and stuff that's made to look like clothes. Now, normally, depending on how Pokemon does it, I'm not always the biggest fan of how that works. But I think that maybe I can make it work here. Especially if Potempo are more like in Pokemon, right? They're meant to be real world creatures that live in the real world, right? Like, or rather the overworld, right? So things like how they operate as far as a level of basically the need for evolution is determined by their type, where they're located. Maybe my Rakshasa and such, right? Any of these kind of concepts, it'll be like, again, like almost like Incineroar, right? But maybe nothing as kooky and craziest instant, or like say a wrestling belt. Never say never, but like I don't think I'm gonna make it like super crazy. You know? Like I don't want it to outright look like a human. It'll be more like, okay, for example, golden tigers look neat. They have more white stripes and black stripes. They do look really cool. What would the pose be? This guy, like, I'm wondering, like, what the lean for, like, say, towards, like, Digimon and stuff would look like. You know? Maybe you could have a Nihilate style main as it kind of looks flamey as the Rakshasa has a fiery look. Well, like traditional Rakshasa. You know what? Let me look up Rakshasa statues because that would be a really cool direction. Ooh, so this costume is from my state of Kerala. Doing something like that could be really sick too. You know? If Wukong POTEMPO does get Tiger Claw, then the Rakshasa figure should have a skinned monkey pelt. He's got this like red butt bear. If I make my Rakshasa say they're great with a bowl of cereal, Bonnie's gonna call PPS, POTEMPO protective? Absolutely. Tony the tiger! Yeah, okay, I'm looking at some cool Rakshasa stuff here. Pump some iron, I know, right? Let me zoom out a little bit. I think going to more, again, stylized approach is obviously the goal. Let me do... A lot of them have mustaches, so maybe I could have a thing where this kind of comes out like this. I want to have... Okay, maybe have... Maybe their fur is more stylized at the edge to look like the kind of crowns you see on these kind of statues. Face pattern of the statue would look like to incorporate. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Curled fangs? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like I'm seeing a lot of cool fangs and stuff. Yeah, something like a fang like coming out like this. Do pardon by absence. No absence, you've made it on time. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. I'll have like one giant like fang come up like this. Kind of want this thingy right here. Now how do I stylize it? I should look up some Pokemon that have like a humanoid body like that, huh? What would be the closest one that I could potentially use? See, a lot of the stage actors have like these black beards and stuff. I wonder if I should do black to incorporate there. This reminds me of racing people called Rakshasa, one of my personal problems. Yeah, I think D&D has the same thing. I think Rakshasa is a kind of D&D race of tiger people with like Indian clothes or something. Gentleman goes too crazy, too crazy. You know what I'll look? I'll just look up werewolf. Because like a werewolf has like the body type that I'm thinking, you know? Muscles. Hello, Danny. Yeah, it's looking a little too funky right now. Danny, you know how to draw like cool things like this, right? How do I make this feel more animalistic without making it feel... Or what if I lean for the third stage, like truly He's just looking too funky. He has no neck. Backwards hands for D&D? I think in many mythologies, backwards hands is supposed to be a sign of evil. And since Rakshasa is evil in Hindu and Vedic text, maybe that's their way of like highlighting that, you know? I'm just gonna draw like a more simple kind of pose. I'll figure out the pose later. Maybe they could, yeah, maybe they'll have like these big kind of paws like this with claws at the end. Right, I want them to be kind of lean. You watching the Knuckles series? I would love to, but I don't have Paramount Plus, and as much as I love Knuckles and I love Idris Elba, I love like the Sonic series, the series of films. I just don't want to pay. Dang, did I make my first furry POTEMPO? Like I think Lucario needs to get a hike if this is a real POTEMPO. He needs the Danny. Oh. Think about Ashura's Wrath with this line. Yeah, I love Ashura's Wrath. Ashura is also like a demon. Maybe it needs to be hunched over. Jake, I was thinking that. Although I like it like this too. And if I, you know, again, this is a very very early set of designs. So if I end up designing humanoids and it's like a Digimon kind of approach, I'm not against that. Right? That's yet another way I kind of like fuse both Pokemon and Digimon for my child, you know? Cinnamon on steroids. Would this creature be one of the stronger POTEMPO, or would these creatures be more rare? Yeah, nah, for sure. And I would say this. Third stage POTEMPO are pretty strong in my universe, right? Like, you're not going to see... Well, I don't want to say you're not going to see many of them. But I think the ones that are especially leaning... There's going to be 3-stage lines that don't have a Chaos or Order side. The ones that split Chaos and Order, I think, will be a little stronger than even the other 3-stage lines. Because they're leaning towards a principle. Right? I said what I said. Oh my god, you damn bastard, Danny. I like him standing high and proud, almost like, yeah, exactly. I need to take a second after that comment. Danny, you strange little creature. You little gremlin. You know what? Look at this. Call the FBI on you, ready? This is my FBI keyboard. Hello, FBI. That comment right there. Thank you. Oh my god. Silly goofball. What do I got here? Oh. Okay. I'm losing weight, baby. Okay. I'm not seeing the Incineroar the same way after listening to the fan. What is that? Furrymon? Trying to help you all reach the audiences out there? After yesterday's comment too, apparently. Maybe he's a monkey tail, or Isabelle as some sort of evil Dragon Ball. Yeah, and you know what's cool about that idea is I do want to obviously put Super Saiyan reference towards Sun Wukong as homage to the goat Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. Face what you created! I know, it is my fault for just having such sexy tastes. Alright, so he's gonna have to have a big chest. He could have some sort of like fur like this. Shame on any red just looking at pretty dragons in my other tab. Will there be a starter for the player MC? So the way I was literally working on stuff about that today, the more and more I think about it, I like the starter direction because it's just a classic, it's a fun thing to do as far as you know, in a game with like all these kind of creatures, to have one that you have a connection with. However, Brody Jones for moderator, Tiger Tiggies, damn it, Hikari, Danny's got you too. But yeah, in reality, what I'll say is this: with starters, right? Starters are like a design that we all love, right? That we look forward to, but it is very much a Pokemon thing. Can someone tell me how starters work in, say, Digimon, right? Like in the anime, the Digimon anime, you have the kids, they get their own unique kind of things. And here's the thing: the entire season, what happens? They stick with the one character and it evolves throughout the whole show, little by little. So, to me, the fact that I'm making so many of these designs, you know, it's crazy. And the more and more I think about it, I reckon what I want to do is, again, Digimon is a huge influence in me. If I ever made this a series, I would want Digimon style rules where like a kid will have a specific POTEMPO, right? Like certain evil characters have certain evil POTEMPO, or not evil, but they use for their agendas, right? So long story short, damn, this guy looks so fucking cool. Long story short, I think I'm going to give you guys all one starter POTEMPO who's your partner. And I want you guys to bond with that POTEMPO first and foremost. That's your Digi-destined style type of, you know, POTEMPO. You know? Is this bait? Is that what I'm drawing right now? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of cooking right now. So that said, I'm afraid to read your comments. That's why I'm ignoring you guys right now. That said, I like the idea of the one because it lets the player get attached to the one. And like, another thing is, if I do starters, right? In Pokemon, for example, you can't find the other starters in the game, right? You have to like trade them. I'm not planning to do that, so it doesn't really make sense for me to do that, you know? I wanted like a third eye thing for Hinduism, so I'm gonna have this thing kind of come in. And it kind of makes an eye, maybe. So yeah, I think I'm only gonna do one quote unquote starter. And even the term starter I don't like. It works for Pokemon. I'm not hating on Pokemon, chat. right? With starter, it's kind of like, oh, it's your journey. Oh, he kind of looks like a clown though. But with starter, it's like Ben put this in his most recent video. Ben Kipo. You're kind of given a starter all willy-nilly. I kind of want to have the player feel like they earned them, maybe through like an in-game story thing, or, you know, I mean, look, I'm not against giving out kind of a Pokemon or whatever, or a Potempo. Like, starter Pokemon, you're 10 years old and you go to school, or actually, I guess only in the most recent game you go to school. But, you know, at the end of the day, yes, you bond whichever one you choose, but like, you've had moments where you will choose a starter and then it evolves and then you don't like what it looked like and you're like, dang, I wish I went with the other starter. With as many Potempos as there will be in this game, I don't want so much emphasis on a starter. I want the emphasis to be like, here's the one starter to get you going, and then maybe in a part 2 game or something, then I could do like a starter thing. But otherwise, I feel like I want to give you a starter that kind of tells you the story of Potempo, you know, teaches you friendship, yada yada yada. Like, I'd rather give you a Potempo that needs a friend rather than waiting to become a friend to someone. You know what I mean? Like, you become a caretaker to the first partner Potempo. Okay, let me see what over here. Not the name that must never be spoken. It's great. Hell yeah. Tiggies, I like it. Tipples! Damn it, Dingus. She got you too. Tipples. This is why I was looking away. Pheromone is a party song made by Chalk Eaters. Tigerth? Oh my god, why does that actually fit? I want this specific Potempo, no reason in particular. I'm a big fan of shoulder spikes, me too. Dibs on the monkey. Digimon just come to you, they choose you. Exactly. Tigerth! If I recall correctly, Digimon kind of a Destiny thing where the kids in Digimon are kind of made. Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily say that's the extent of Potempo, that Potempo's made for you. But it's more like, I want there to be inherently I want there to be inherently a feeling that, like, they're not just animals that live in the world waiting to be tamed. They're powerful creatures that deserve respect. And so, like, in Persona, for example, right? Your teammates in Persona all have one persona, right? Like, in reality, I could have done a game or something where there's like only 20 forms, or not forms, but designs, and like, that's still a lot, right? But since there's evolutions and all this kind of stuff, it really changes. You know, for people, like, people care about numbers, I think, too much. What should be the most important thing are the designs, right? Like, I could create all these mons, and yes, at the end of the day, that does give a lot of people a lot of, what's the word? Like, diversity and range to choose cool mons they like. But a good chunk of the mons are going to get chucked aside anyway. So I'm like, am I wasting my time creating all of these designs? You know? I kind of like the third forms all being like these really buffed up special version kind of designs. You know, so the mermaid wouldn't look out of place next to this creature. Like, obviously this guy feels a little more developed than the mermaid, but you know, that's what the first passes are for, right? I mean, I think this looks pretty cool, chat. Hope you guys like it. Lucario, eat your goddamn heart out. This guy would body Lucario. Ben's video about the stars was nice. Yeah, it really gave me a lot of good insight. It was a much needed video for me to see. Like, and the thing is, he likes, like, you know, I appreciate how much he wants to give choice to the players, and starters do that. But I think for me, with as many, you know, POTEMPO that I'm creating, I don't want someone's party to be 3 starter POTEMPO plus 3 randos. You know what I mean? I'd like if everyone, when they start their game, they feel like the hero because they get like this chosen, and I'll reveal what the starter is, okay? Or what it's based off. The homunculus. And I'll leave it at that. At the very least, that's what I'm picturing the field to be. Yeah. Maybe give the face more ogre monkey features. I think you're right, Kay. I'll do that for a second pass for sure. Lucario of POTEMPO. Bond special talent so you can sense thirst in chat. Absolutely. I love Let's Go for not doing that. Looks Pokemon Digimon got the buff furry character. You know it's a winning formula. It's true. Digimon changes the gimmicks depending on the series. Very true. Digimon Fusion, you could just make an alliance with Digimon and put them all in your Fusion loader. Not sure what that means. Maybe take a page from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, a little Q&A for the player, and there'll be a POTEMPO. Yeah, I like that. That's exactly what I was thinking, Dingus, because, like, there are rules to starter Pokemon now, right? And then people came up with crazy rules, too, like, it's gotta be extinct if it's grass, and it's a Zodiac, and it's a this, and it's like, no, stop. I love all the creatures that every iteration, when they're done, won't be anything less than a design I love and that I think people will love, right? Like, there's a saying with Pokemon too, like, everybody, you know, even the worst design is somebody's favorite type of thing. I'm not going to leave anything on the cutting room floor. I'm putting all my best designs out here, and that's that. You know? So I trust my designs, and like, if I do starters, it's going to adhere to Pokemon rules, right? It's got to like follow particular theming, and then people will look forward to seeing the quote-unquote starter of the next game. I like the idea of creating a singular partner with a unique concept, even if it's not a unique concept, because it's your partner, you're always going to love it, you know? So yeah. That looks awesome. Thank you, Oni. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Could he have a golden belly thing, or is that much like Incineroar? Yeah, it might be like Incineroar. Strange gentlemanly aspect of this guy. Maybe it's his stash. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit worried when POTEMPOs choose me as its partner. Seriously. It would be more about what you do. Real talk though, Silhouette Shifts. Oh, thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. We have yet to get a WUKONG, but this one's so far my favorite. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Looks awesome. You could also make them white tiger with colored stripes. Very true. Are there POTEMPO that are aware of their origin, like knowing they were created by some god, or do they not know? I don't think it's that they even need to know. Like, I wouldn't say like they're that worried about it, right? Like, they're probably in a space beyond humans as far as needing to know where they're from, but they're not clearly as, like, there's a story reason why human are on the place and POTEMPO are spirits, you know? Tiger looks cool, feels like it could beat me up. Pause, how tall is this mother trucker? Chat, how tall should I make this guy? I don't mind it being like a Digimon kind of thing where he's like pretty tall, maybe 5-6 feet tall, you know? I don't like, for example, Lucario, fine. Lucario's a small little guy, fine. But Charizard, for example, is like 5'2" or 5'7". What? Charizard should be like 6 and 7 feet tall or something, right? Like, so I don't mind if they feel larger than life because I want them to feel extraordinary, right? For art scores, we rage quit if our artwork looks like crap, even though another person thinks it's amazing. What art that beat me up. I'd say thank you. There's a guy on Twitter whose old account is that he loves Sandy Wormadam based. Sandy Wormadam. Giga Tigger, Tiger, Short King, Rakshasa POTEMPO looks badass and powerful. He does look badass and powerful. Make him all 1 to 3 feet tall, 9 feet, 8 feet. I feel like they're not elemental things like Pokemon. How would attacks be? Yeah, I like Digimon kind of thing where like each attack is probably more like something that's at the very least. I kind of want to do a signature move for every creature, or at the very least say like. At the very least, look, this is what I'm going to do. Domains give you a certain set of moves that only that domain can teach, right? Kind of like types. But then also, you're going to have basic moves that every Potempo could do depending on, right? For example, my Diglett version, right? Diglett slashes somehow. How? I don't know. This guy, he'll have like a slash, maybe like a kick. You know what I mean? Like there'll be like simple kind of moves and then more elevated kind of moves. 7 foot Pocket Prince, 1 foot tall, super wide. If Charizard is around 5'2", then how short are the trainers? Exactly. Like what? I'm supposed to stand up, look down at Charizard and look at him like, Charizard, flamethrower. No, Charizard should look like he's gonna toss me aside like a piece of garbage, right? Like, I mean, thank God. And maybe it's not a, yeah, signature T-Town blur. As tall as a furret. How tall is a furret? All right, I think this guy is looking pretty damn good. I'm gonna leave him for now. Maybe the stripes here can kind of look like a rib cage type of thing. Part of me feels like if I add white here, that's getting a little too sexy. You know what I mean? I don't know why making that area white feels right, but also wrong. Something like that, maybe? I like the loincloth thing, and I'm gonna have Hanuman Wukong have something like that too. Birds are 5'11"? God damn. Maybe they only have 3 moves, a basic attack, a buff, or a debuff, and their signature move. Yeah, it could be something very simple, for sure. Head above a full-grown human, not at inches or meters. Groudon can barely fit inside an apartment? Oh, that's... Lugia is massive. If someone looks up Lugia and tell chat. I want to record my Q&A video, but I have this one stupid pimple. And it's pissing me off, so I'm trying to get rid of that. Maybe I'll wear this hat, because my hair is going to have grown. What a jump. Yeah. Why are you calling it sexy? Do you have no shame or something? Hey, listen. Am I a furry? No. However, do I stand my own artwork? Absolutely. So, okay, now we have the New A is done, which, by the way, this New A is so sick. I mean, this is really cool line. Like, genuinely, I'm very proud of this line. Pop that pimple. Look at this. I'm the same height as Gengar. Macho, yeah, you're tiny as hell, boy. Someone look up Lugia. Macho? Wait. I do have pimple patches. I put them on at night, though. This one was, like, really bad, and then, like, now it's kind of coming down. Slap a red scarf on the boy, he'll have all the appeal he wants. But yeah, Lugia is 17 feet tall. How tall is Groudon? Alright, let's do Sun Wukong. So Hanuman Langer will be the inspo alongside... Okay, so... he'll be like far more lean. So I kind of want to do... Okay, so he's gonna have a goatee as well. His face, I might make him like Blueface, not like the rapper Blueface, baby. Kind of want to give him Super Saiyan hair, I'm not gonna lie. I'll also kind of give him just a simple body shape so as to because I'm just getting the design down, right? First and foremost. Groudon's 11 feet. I told you, Groudon is a baby, and then Lugia is bigger than Groudon. You'll break my kneecaps? Yeah, because you're gonna be at my kneecaps, you tiny little creature. Don't pop? Yeah, no, I won't pop it. Name this guy Ty Gorgeous. Really lean into it. So the name that I kind of want to go with is... Do I want to say? Actually, to this day, I don't know what the POTEMPO naming structure is. I'm 5'10". So yeah, look up what Pokemon is 5'10" and tell me. Music is still playing for you guys, right? All right. Danny, say that name? I'm not saying it. Alright, let me see. How do I do the Sun Wukong? Like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the legs, you know? Hey, thanks, chat. Oh, Mackenzie, thanks. These streams are supposed to have music? Yeah. Machop is taller than Bonnie? No, it's not. Yeah, there should be music. Is it really low then? Yeah. Is that a little... Incineroar? Clouds are my baby. Scissor? Yo, me and Scissor. Let's go. Scissor is my dog. Yeah, I know, right? They're too small. Sun Wukong time. Listen, designing 4 mons each time is kind of hard, right? I mean, not all the time. Chat, I'm gonna start doing designs for I guess 2-stage lines. Okay? So if I do 2-stage it won't be as long, all right? Because clearly it'll finish. So maybe what I can do is potentially I can do like two lines per the days that I do that. You know what I like? Maybe I'll give him really like baggy kind of pants. Not pants, but like, because I'm seeing a lot of references where, you know, it would be cool to always make the third form like a humanoid kind of version. Not all of them, but like, it would really give impact to the finale. Like, they're bursting through their programming to be what we assume are creatures, but they're POTEMPO. And they unleash their potential and just become these, you know, really impressive kind of creatures. Ignore the ugly feet. And naturally, look, Chad, I'll say this. Most of the POTEMPO won't really ever be this humanoid. It's just that obviously monkeys are going to have a very human lean, right? Like that's just how it has to go. So don't think that... I kind of want... So, you know, obviously I will play up proportions. It'll probably be more like a... what is his name? Infernape type of thing, right? I never hear the music. It's really low. Now I hear to music. Oh, I hear no music. Wow, wait, is that true? I know I put it low, but is it that low? Hold on. How is this? Is that too much? How's this? Hello, Auroras. Welcome in. Will the Wukong line have a signature staff? Absolutely not. Pose him doing the crab walk. Machop is 5'11", is taller than you? Damn it, Machop. It's not Machop, bro. It's got to be Machamp. Machop is a little baby. Maybe you can... No, that's two Pokemon. Make the staff a leg. Give him a peg leg staff. Tail being a staff is a cool idea. I hear the music slightly. Yeah, Wukong's staff is a very specific weapon and tool to him. This is a POTEMPO, not Sun Wukong, so no staff. Perfect, sounds good. Guys, I've been playing music all the time. And now this is the first time I'm hearing that you guys have not been hearing it. Alright, so I'm gonna make him more like yellow, like golden tone. Obby Super Saiyan, but also golden Hanuman Longer type of reference. Alright. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna also give him... And I like the fact that, you know, if it's a split Evo, I can do cool stuff like give them shared things, you know? And make them really feel part of a split line. Sometimes certain splits will feel more obvious, other times not so much. Haven't heard no music. Oh my god. Are you serious, chat? I think it'd be cool to make the staff the tail, because imagine a type where tail gets larger and smacks a foe with it. I don't want to keep explaining, chat. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, POTEMPO are not like one-to-one references. I don't mind paying homage here and there with certain things, but things like staff and stuff, like, it's like making a Thor Pokemon and then giving him like a hammer, you know? And again, if I were making a Pokemon, 1,000,000,000% I would do that, right? Like that's like the obvious thing to do, but I'm trying to supersede Pokemon designs and do my own thing, right? Well, you have any POTEMPO with items? Actually, I don't plan on it. And even if I did, right, it would be more of a generic item rather than it being like a staff, right? Now look, if for example, if down the line, I'm like, oh, all third forms have a weapon. Maybe the Rakshasa has 2 swords, right? Talwars or something, right? And then that's like a cohesive thing that all 3-stage designers have, then fine. But like as of right now, I don't want it to feel like Pokemon, you know, where I see so many Pokemon designs where people will kind of like shoehorn in a design into the tail, and like it's not a bad thing if it can work, but to me it's like a cheap way to like incorporate an extra feature that doesn't need to really be there. You're a big red baboon tushy. If I was making Thor Pokemon, I would probably make each hand like the half of the hammer. There you go. That's like a more interesting way to do it. But see, Thor Pokemon, right? It wouldn't necessarily work for this guy because, you know, these designs don't work like Pokemon designs, right? Yesterday, for example, we made a blobfish evolve into a sea cow into a mermaid, right? You're never gonna see a Pokemon go through that line, right? At the end of the day, this spirit has to simply be inspired by Sun Wukong, right? He's not Sun Wukong. And something like a staff is just too on the nose for me personally. That's all. I want to do like a Goku nod as well for my boy Akira Toriyama, the GOAT. Maybe, yeah, maybe he could still have like that orange body right here.
Race together, build together with new Lego Mercedes playsets.
And again, I will more than likely, yeah, head crown would definitely be on the nose. Like, because, for example, the Rakshasas all have crowns, and like this is an actor, the play would be called something like Gadagali, which means, Gada means story, Gali means play. So basically like story time, like story stage play. And so obviously that kind of design is kind of like a Wukong, like ornamental, really, you know, really specific kind of look, right? I don't mind. Again, the thing is, the moment I go into the route where like Sun Wukong gets his crown, Sun Wukong gets his staff, what lengths do I have to go for all the other creatures? And then what ends up happening is, over time, it means that all the individualized designs that I wanted to do will no longer work. Because people are going to have expectations. They're going to be like, I know people will look at this design in the future, and they're going to say, well, that can't be Sun Wukong. He doesn't have a staff. You know, like, Infernape has, like, golden marks and stuff, right? That really allow it to kind of be Sun Wukong. But at the end of the day, the idea is that these designs are inspired, right, by the mythologies. They're not mythological Sun Wukong or the mythological Rakshasa, the mythological mermaid, you know, etc., right? So, Lego Mercedes playsets? Roris writes, yeah, I'm like just kind of understanding the ways you're trying to design POTEMPO. I feel like I understand more history. Yeah, good. I'm glad. And I think, you know, people, you know, right now there's a lot of growing pains, even for me, especially for me, because I'm sitting here drawing it, especially live on stream, trying to develop out a look feel for a world that's so early in development, you know? So even I myself am only learning the rules as well, you know? So I can't expect everyone else to know it either. Just wondering, Bonnie, do you ever watch back into your stream to check for sound? I don't. I really don't. I get so tired by the end of stream. And I figure like people would tell me in chat, like, Bond, like the sound sounds like this or that. And if no one says anything, I'm just going to presume it sounds okay, because if it were like really bad, someone would tell me. And I've had moments in the past where people might tell me, and then I'll try and fix it. And, you know, feel free to reach out and let me know, Bon, I think the sound's too loud, or this or that, or could you look into, and of course I'll try and do that, you know? World building is super fun. It takes a long time. It's just iteration on iteration on iteration, you know? Like, how these designs might look in a year from now will probably be so insanely different, you know? Just wondering so that you hear what your viewers are hearing. Absolutely, yeah. I honestly probably should. But again, like, if nothing is super pressing, you know. Like I said, this POTEMPO will just feel more humanoid than the rest, just because that you can't help it with monkeys, right? Can we do sound checks in the beginning if you want? Yeah. I mean, chat, tell me right now, how does audio sound for you guys right now? Is it okay? So I think when I get around to making this guy's design more cohesive, when I get around to it, I will probably get him to be a little more lanky, you know? Audio sounds good. What mic do I use? I use the Hyper Quadcast S. Honestly, the quality of it's fine, plus I personally don't really mind music or no music. Gotcha. Right now we're Gucci. Good. Yeah, like I said, I pictured that, like, if things ever got bad, you guys would let me know, right? I trust that you guys would let me know. I want you guys to be able to hear me. I recently moved into this new space and there's a lot of room. So if I talk really loud, you guys could probably hear all the bounce. And then I installed these kind of things in the background so as to catch sound waves. I don't know. I think there is a difference in the streams from like a couple of weeks ago. For sure, I know there's a lot of audio echoey bouncings and stuff. Now it should be a little better because of that. Use the exact same mic. Nice. Yeah, it's a very entry-level mic, but I really like it. I don't love some WUKONG as much as I love this guy. I think I need to do something, but I'm having trouble. Naturally, I think once I get him a really cool pose, it will really help. I guess maybe this part feels like close, maybe. Oh, you know what? I could do a thing like maybe I lean into the humanoid and go something like that. Make the monkey also buff. I don't know if I want to make him buff. Like, he's more lean, right? Ripped, like, in my mind. It's the body kind of thing. Maybe I'm looking at the way they do many of these costumes look. Maybe, okay, so maybe his clothes could look more like... I like that he's got like a Deva lean with the blue skin. Goku-esque? Hell yeah. I like the monkey fur kind of coming like this and then wrapping around like a gauntlet. it's again also hard not to make it feel like clothes, because a monkey is just simply because this source material would look naked without clothes, right? And I'm, you know, this is not the final pose or anything. I'm just trying to get the design down, you know? But again, maybe, who knows, maybe like after some time I'm gonna be like, I want the final forms to feel more human, you know? Longer arms. I think you're right, Hikari. Make the monkey also hot. So I meant to make it muscular but not super buff like the tiger. Yeah, for sure it'll be about playing with the poses. Maybe need some more elements of intrigue. Wukong rides on a cloud, so maybe some air cloud elements. Longer arms, maybe a jumping pose that feels more... Yeah, I was just kind of trying to get a equivalent kind of pose to the other guy. But maybe I'll do a pose like... Let me do... Ooh. Hold on, let me do... Yeah, for sure the longer arms feel right. I like him being scrawnier and more... Like, it looks like a David versus Goliath thing between the two sides, you know? The hair might be a little too Super Saiyan, but the way I see a lot of Wukong hair kind of looks like that. Here, for the people who want the headband, I could do like a hair kind of thing that looks kind of like a hairband. Yeah, I like these little hairbang things. I'm gonna make the ears really big too. Oh god, I'm not... Is gender a thing? No, it's not. They're Ken dolls, despite some people fighting for breeding, I'll say. Trying to get a good pose. You know what? Maybe I'll just do like a pose where like he's kind of like climbing a tree or something. But see, once I do something like this, I was like, it feels like very Monkey King, you know? More peak? Yeah, some people. Alright, I'm gonna get, again, you know what? I'll just keep the pose simple because I'm trying to get the design down. Sometimes design does feel better when put in the right pose, so I do get what you guys mean. They can be masculine or feminine, but they have no working parts. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, at the end of the day, breeding isn't something that I think needs to be a thing in this game. And because they're not like actual creatures that live in like that overworld space, you know?
When you find a deal on your favorite thing in the McDonald's,
maybe for him, he's got more like a, again, like a loincloth type of thing.
online shopping, save money with the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's, prices may vary.
No, that doesn't work. No, you're good. No worries. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out everything. But as of right now, I'm not interested in like, oh, there's a male form, a female form. For something like spirits that are like so capable, it feels silly to like worry about this doesn't look male enough, or this doesn't look female enough, or like, you know. Didn't come until Gen 2, yeah. Yeah, and even if I did want to do a system like that, it wouldn't have to work that same way where it's like male, female, blah blah blah. It's all spirits and shenanigans. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm just gonna look up chimpanzee reference. Segs DLC. Oh my god, art's off center? Oh my god, have I been drawing like that the whole time? I'm sorry, chat. Damn. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, let me try this. Spider monkeys and capuchin? Yes, you're right. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me do, I think I got a nice one that I like. Okay, so we got the head. Oh, but you know what? This one would be really closed off. How does combat work in this world? Is just man on man or the... I'm not focusing too much on the gameplay yet, because I don't even know what kind of game it's going to be, let alone if it's going to be tabletop RPG or... Yeah, well, if my POTEMPO is throwing hands, so am I. Hell yeah. Well, so the way I'm currently making it work is that you guys are as important as the POTEMPO. Like, in my current iteration, how I hope I can make it be is, I want it to kind of be 3-on-3. Like, there's like a field, kind of like, what do you call it? Like a Yu-Gi-Oh field with, like, instead of 5 monsters it'd be 3, and that you, and so POTEMPO revert back to their base forms at the start of every battle, so you can always still have your cute little buddy. Kind of feel like a delinquent squad. Yeah, I'm not going to keep that. I'm just looking for more reference. He hop, but ooh, this is an interesting one. So basically, the way I have it is that the players have mana, right? So I want it so that in this world, like in the Pokemon world, like you're kind of expected to be a trainer potentially, like everyone has. In this one, I want the player, like as in you, the player, when you start the game, I want you to feel special. Like, oh, I have a POTEMPO. Like these things are rare entities, etc., etc., right? So the idea is that humans are super powerful in their own right. Maybe a long time ago, again, I won't get into it too much as far as the lore and stuff. Basically, they may have been on the same footing as POTEMPO, and then like story stuff happens, right? And what ends up happening, oh, I see, the body is gonna look really funky because the head looks so small. That's kind of the issue here. But you know what? It's okay. I'll play around with it. I think it's mostly the eyes. The eyes make him look very cute, like a baby. But basically, the amount of mana that you have is linked to your level, and you yourself are responsible for managing your POTEMPO. So you could put out 3 POTEMPO, and maybe 2 of them have 3 stage forms. It would take obviously a lot more mana to bring them up to speed into their first form. So you might think, you know, oh, I'd better maybe evolve 2 of my mons to the 2-stage forms. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a strategy kind of thing. Loving the pose? Nice. Good. Again, I think it's the big...
starts listing the toxic chemicals you could be inhaling into your body, like
the big eyes, maybe?
Which she singles out because it's the same chemical used to preserve your Uncle Rico's funky-smelling taxidermied fox, formaldehyde. Vaping can expose you to toxic chemicals like formaldehyde. No need to spell it out any more than that. Brought to you by the Real Cost and FDA.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll just simply have it be a part of the hair like this, so it looks less like a... Disney Tarzan also has good poses? Yeah, absolutely right. Anyone else getting lag? Oh no, you were stressing me out there for a second. I thought he had no body. Yeah, I'm seeing how this is progressing. Alright, good. Look at Spider-Man poses, that's true. I feel like this doesn't necessarily give us a good idea of what he does, but it's like, again, just trying to find the colors, the design and stuff. I think, honestly, I do like this. I'm gonna give him the same tiger kind of loincloth coloration, because remember, he's still part Niue underneath, right? So that'll be fun to have him... Actually, yeah, this is kind of fire. Actually, you know what? I'm back on board with this design, you guys. You? But yeah, I feel like I could probably more realistically make this a... a game, like a tabletop RPG would be like a realistic thing that I could do. You know? Programming a game, music, this, that, models, you know, it's a lot. Like, I'm one person. Like, I'd have to get like studio backing, and you know, I've got to create proof of concept first, right? I like it. I like this, gang. The lanky arms was a huge play. Thank you, chat, for that one. And it's okay if there's a little individualism. This is like the third form. It's my take on like the final form. Like, look at the Rakshasa, how crazy he looks, right? Laptop is bugging then. Leave and try and come back. Okay, have a good one, Danny. Take care. Add the fair stages look. Do all Potempos have a specific vibe to them? Or depending on the species, do you have a specific... That's why I wanted the designs to feel very unique. Also, chat, I think I'm done for the night. This feels pretty damn good. I gotta still figure out the totem pole heads thing, but it's getting very close to what I want to do in creating a first form that feel consistent. But yeah, I think POTEMPO will have their own vibe for sure. Also, POTEMPO line, especially love the new and Rakshasa. Yeah, me too. I might have to have the Tiger Man on my team. Take care, Alex. Have a good one. Make sure you leave a like as you guys head out for the night. So let me let this sit for a little bit. I will... yeah, I think they're all getting totem heads. I was testing that earlier today. And it was looking really good, and I think that will be a beautiful jumping point for many of the designs, especially for the first forms to all kind of look similar. Like if you see a whole bunch of first forms together, it looks like a whole bunch of kids at kindergarten. There's something cute about it, and I'm still working on how it's going to look. But yeah. This first form, yeah, I know you don't like it, but it's okay. I like it a lot myself. I wouldn't put it on everybody's heads. It would look silly, but it's meant to exist as a way for the designs to feel cohesive together. Take care, Kay. POTEMPO series similar to Pokemon D&D. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. That would be a good way to actually... You know what? I'm not against that at all. I don't know if I'd have an audience for it. I think videos more explaining, like, every 2 weeks, like, how do you catch POTEMPO? What's the POTEMPO world like? Designing a, you know, like, setup like this, you know? I think those would do better. I'm hoping my next iteration of Pokemon Cross D&D does really well. Because I did work very hard on it. And even the old ones I did too. But it is harder to keep up with series that continue like that, you know? What for what, Bonnie? Why do you want the Tiger? They look very cool. New is the only one I feel like he doesn't do too much. Really? I love the new way. But yeah, like, it's very realistic right now. And you know, all of them look very funky, so they will for sure go through the style passes, and I think the new way is going to be one of my favorites because it feels like a tiger, it feels like a monkey crawling. I like the fusion for sure. It always depends. Sometimes OC can be a great jumping point. Yeah, absolutely. Pokemon Cross D&D was what I been when I first found. Nice. A video idea that might work if you're interested. Yeah. There'd be lore entries for each POTEMPO. Yeah, there would have to be. I want people to know about each of the creatures for sure. Like, maybe I can talk about their general predicament and maybe not so much about how they exist in the overworld, you know? Um, but yeah, I think, guys, I'm gonna call it here. The Mandrill energy, yeah, I can't wait to put Mandrill into the Kong archetype. Because I think it'll look really insane. I'll have like a nice pop of color. Like I feel like maybe I'll do like a silverback with a Mandrill or something, and have it evolve from like a Bigfoot type. And then I'm gonna have the first form be the skunk ape. So that'll be it. Maybe I'll do King Kong next. That's a really fun one. Hello, Danny. Welcome back. Is everything okay? What is a VGU? Jack commented today, man, if League of Legends Wukong got a VGU, he'd be one of my favorites. Oh, maybe like an upgrade for the games. Yeah. Yeah, there will be a stream tomorrow. More Tiger Father, because I'm done, Danny girl. I've streamed for 3 hours, not too shabby, and my hand doesn't feel too crazy either. I get a nice stretch in. Damn, we need Gabby to come in. Or otherwise, guys, I need you guys to remind me maybe on every hour. Bonchan, Professor Bodhi, Visual Design Rework, gotcha. Well, he said VGU. But, yeah, I'm thinking something like that because Jack does some really cool league upgrades. Yeah, I think Nanny just joined. Which Nanny? My sister? Or our classmate Nanny. She says she's here in spirit. She can't type it. Why can't she type? Did my mods ban you? What you say in the past, Nancy? But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it over here. We're about 3 hours in. Actually, in fact, this is a pretty damn good time for me to jump off. So again, I want to do a thing where like I make the first forms. They're meant to be simple anyway. I give them all totem heads, and they're kind of like hiding what they're really going to become. I think there's something fun about that. And then when they evolve into the second form, there's usually a nice big jump. And then the third is fully realized. So it's a little crazy as far as the visual pacing for now, because again, I'm just getting ideas down. But you can see the vibe that I'm trying to hit. And I think that, like, again, when I do the second passes, these designs are going to feel so damn coherent. They're going to be very fun. They're going to be colorful. They're going to have fun shapes. Dasha, hello, welcome in. Just want to say hi. Hey, guys, what you guys doing? Hello, Austral, welcome in. Missed the stream. You better come in tomorrow, Austral. Gonna hit her with our classmate, not our beloved queen. That's cool. Yeah, that's true. She's the queen, our art queen. It's Dasha. I'm not gonna forget you, Dasha. How can I forget you guys? Well, welcome to the stream. I'm about to close up shop, actually. We're about 3 hours in. I think we had a successful stream. Got some fun, silly, cute, cool designs. Danny said some pretty unspeakable things about the Tiger Man. I like my son WUKONG guy came up pretty fun. He looks a little cute, little baby face, which is fine. The Gorleys, my little Gorleys here. Thank you for the support. I'm glad to you. I like the Nue a lot. I'm looking at this Nue and I really, really like him. And the little monkey is cute too. I guess I'll do a quick look at the compendium. No, I didn't. It's here in chat. It's forever locked on chat stream. Here were the other looks for the totem heads. I think they'll be very cute. But yeah, we're slowly building out the compendium little by little. I feel very good about it. My son Wukong, he is my son. They're all my children. Yeah, I think if there's anything else, I'll close on the logos. I'm getting closer and closer. I think I showed these yesterday maybe, but I'm gonna take a photo and share it to Insta. Yeah, there's some fun stuff going on. But guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. What is the pink worm thing? It's a very fun line. I really love how that one came back. But basically, it's my take on like the dune worm. So it starts out as an earthworm, then a naked mole rat, and then evolves into a giant dune worm, which I really want to read the books. So obviously it's not the dune worm exactly, it's inspired by it. And so it's a very fun line where like there is still a visual through line that works, like moles digging the ground, the pink kind of coloration for the worm, and the fact that it's a naked mole rat. It's like a nice little transition. Looking at the bear above, he looks very derpy, and I can't wait to give him like a totem head. That way, when he evolves from a little totem bear into an owl, then the owl bear will really feel nice, you know? Middle is cute, but I wouldn't touch it. Why? He's so cute. He's just baby, bro. But, okay, cool. There are plenty of designs that... Chat, would you guys... Maybe what I can do tomorrow is work... No, but see, this is a nice, like, Last of Us inspired monster. Because I really love how these lines came up, and they need a little bit of a touch-up. Kintora, yeah. Working on a redesign for him right now. These lines won't come back exactly how you expect. They're just kind of there as placeholder. He'd feel gross? Wow. So you hate Kim Possible. You hate Kim Possible, basically, by saying that. That's crazy. Okay, chat, I'm gonna call it a night. It's been real. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. Finally get a good stretch in. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow for... Exactly, it'll be more so cordyceps than mushroom. Well, cordyceps is, you know, but meaning like more on the decay side. I do want to do potentially a 2-stage mushroom line, but I'm already just about at 150 designs, including legendaries, and I don't want to go over. But yeah, I'm going to say goodnight one last time. Thank you so much for your support. I always appreciate you. Mwah to you. I love you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for cheering me on. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow.